Now, if you have ever yearned for kicking out old grannies from their homes and testing killer robots for a man who has truly gone cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, then do I have some news for you. Following a 3-month wait, 8 if we're counting the last content update specifically, the game has a new progression path primed to drive the bulk of the player base insane. But how so? Simple, as we now have post-end-game content now. Here's the poop, folks. None of what we will see here today will be possible without having activated the rifts, of course, but also killing all 3 lunar mutants for this old coot, as then and only then will we be able to start yet another fetch quest with the man who has now set up shop on Pearl's Island once that's all said and done. Reach this point, and he will blabber on about wanting to get our crabby friend out of the way via relocating her using a map, and yes, he does actually mean an actual map of the actual Moon Key Island here, but give him what he wants then via a cartographer's desk, only to turn around and hand his map of a totally uninhabited island to Pearl herself, and she will just straight up dip. No, not kidding. No matter what state her own quest is in, she will take all her crap and find a new home in a quote-unquote new place. It is very strange, and quite frankly, very annoying for the time being, but it is what it is. With her gone, however, our cryptic founder will begin phase 2 of his very own checklist, where he will ask us to use this unique workbench to craft substrate extrapolators that will serve as unique docks for Pearl's Island and Pearl's Island alone. They are not the most inexpensive things in the world, mind, so this could take some time in and of itself for sure. As hell, I had to use a whopping 76 of them to finish turfing this place. But do so though, and Warbot is born out of thin air. But we're not even close to being done. Not when the next task sees us crafting 6, count 'em 6, Phasmo encapsulators here. Now making 6 dual-side bug nets is already asking a hefty time sink, but to then require 4 scrap and an enlightened shard for each and every one means at least 2 celestial champion kills, potentially even 3. Regardless, it needs to be done, as we need to then turn around and use these mechanical nets to capture gestalts wherever we can, so we best get to it. You see, the lunacy of this man knows no bounds, as he will impatiently demand that these things are handed over to him in order for him to turn them into teramites, tiny little robos with 280 health and 50 damage a pop. And yep, I'm starting to guess that you're starting to guess where this is going. Hand them as many as you've got whenever you happen to get them, and he will keep adding more and more of these teramites into the circle here, and only after the 6th and final one will it prompt our guy to leave us with yet another step of death, leading to even more death to follow. Now, this unique, crystallized celestial revenant will fall from the sky all dramatic-like, only to be a carbon copy of the celestial champion phase 1, unfortunately. Is it a placeholder? Probably, but it still looks cool at least. Defeat it, and you will come to discover that I actually lied. We need 7 frickin' Phasmo encapsulator thingies, as the Celestial Revenant here is essentially invulnerable forever until we can capture its essence after it's dead. So yeah, that's not great if you kill it, and then you don't capture it, and it just comes back to life on ya. But bring this last piece to the man, and he will finally allow us to throw the very switch needed to activate his ultimate death machine, the Warbot. But oof, that's involved. So is it worth it? Well, I'll tell you this. We were bang on the money about the next big encounter being Don't Starve Together's version of the Iron Hulk. We have got a locked down arena with an electric fence that will hurt you if you get too close, pouncing bosses, heat-sinking missiles, lasers, and more. So let's break it down. Phase 1 is going to lure us into a sense of ease, as all it's got for us is attempting a melee or trying to smash our head in from above, both of which are dodged with little effort, especially with speed. So keep up a 6-hit combo while running in the opposite direction of his leap towards you, and you'll be fine. But drop his health by roughly 5,000, and suddenly things go off the rails. This thing will then start firing heat-seeking missiles that number far too many and absolutely shred whatever they hit, so you better plan ahead by tricking his targeting systems via other heat sources or by dropping your very own temperature, which is a very cool mechanic. Now alone, they're super neat, and super dangerous. So it's a good thing that he makes it all better by finally activating these teramites in phase 2A. They will constantly surround the guy, bouncing off each other and the environment to add randomness to their overall movements. All the while, the Warbot himself is still gonna be leaping, smashing, and firing missiles. So this is where telepoofing becomes your very best friend. But what's this? One last set of laser grids interconnecting the teramites and literal orbital strikes that block and slow movement for an extended period of time while dealing damage come quote-unquote phase 3. Oh yep. It's a thing, alright. And it all comes together to make this one hell of a fight. It's a juggling match where ranged weapons are your friend above all else, in my opinion, so bear that in mind. But it's also a very fun, active fight. And you could kill these teramites to make your life a little easier, but I've just found that keeping my distance and throwing stuff at them was the best way to go. This was my very first attempt, though, and I still beat him with relative ease, so I wouldn't say it's too crazy. Then again, this is the first phase of the entire fight by the sound of it. Yeah, something tells we're gonna get absolutely destroyed in the next part of this beta. But since it's unfinished, we have no unique loot to talk about, so it seems to me that we should wrap up today with the additional changes, like the wandering trader here. Our OG Beefalo buddy now sells some goodies each and every day in every world for ashes, beefalo fur, and pigskin, but some items are going to be limited to once per day, it seems. He does have a timer to refresh his inventory, and I'm not entirely sure if it's exactly one day or not, but when they say he's a wandering trader, they ain't lying, as this guy gets around and only sticks to a spot for a very short amount of time, so just be on the lookout for some cheap goods from this point on. To continue, however, geometric placement has arrived to the base game of DST for any and all who need it via the advanced settings, so be sure to tweak it to your liking. Odd skeletons will be the proper variant with a shadow atrium around no matter what now. Razors can help us preview what is in a bundling wrap without breaking it open following today. And finally, drowning in the ocean has been mega tweaked to where we not only don't take maximum health penalties anymore, but the amount of loot and health we lose has also kind of been reduced. 2 items and only like 5 or 10 in the shadows, and 3 items or 25 health in deeper waters, it seems. Oh, and they did add a floater thing that prevents all health loss from drowning if that floats your boat, so take note. Enjoy. And yeah, I know about the Celestial Abomination nonsense and the Celestial Jewels here, but they're not actually implemented yet, so there's no point in telling people what they do if they're probably going to change what they do. Besides, Clay also has a number of extra things planned for the future of this release regardless, so we might as well just wait until we have more bang for our buck. Yes, but folks, there you have it. What I am calling the Celestial Warlords beta for Don't Starve Together and all its lunacy. Seriously, that survival game we all knew and loved is long gone. But thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all, praise the moon, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.